I deserve to charge a lot for my work because I spent a lot of money on camera gear. Wrong. I hear so many photographers say this and I can't stand it. The market decides your rate. It's your fault you spent money on gear, not the clients. Okay, this video is going to be a bit of a rant. You're going to learn how to price your work the right way. Does this type of post sound familiar? Why photographers charge so much? Camera, $3,000. Lenses, $4,000. Computer, $2,500. Software, $200 a month. I bet you've seen this type of post on Instagram or Twitter. I know I see these all the time, and I had to make this video to address it. Just because your gear costs a lot of money doesn't mean that you deserve to have high rates. It's your fault that you took on these expenses, not the clients. You don't charge a lot of money because you use expensive gear. You can charge a lot of money because you deliver value to the client. Value is the name of the game. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Chris Pieta. I teach creative business and run a product photography company. This video is going to be breaking down why some photographers are pricing their work from a completely wrong mindset. Then I'll offer a solution that will allow you to price your work in a way that clients will want to pay you for it. Imagine this. You're walking around the neighborhood and you see this new coffee shop that just opened up. It looks like a little mom and pop shop. You walk in and the smell of freshly brewed coffee hits you right away. There's artwork on the walls from a local artist. People are sitting around talking and working on their laptops. You walk up to the barista to order your coffee, and then this big sign catches your eye. It says, "This is why our lattes are $7. Espresso machine, $10,000. Monthly rent, $3,000. Staff wages, $600 per day." You see the sign and something doesn't sit right with you. Why is this coffee shop trying to justify their expensive lattes? They're a business. Shouldn't they just factor in their expenses like a normal business would? Exactly. When you try and justify your rate because you bought expensive gear, you look exactly like this coffee shop. No legitimate business is going to try and justify their prices like this. Their price is their price. They don't need to justify it. They've calculated what they need to charge to make a profit, and they charge it. They found the perfect number where they provide value for their customers and they make a profit. This is a hard balance to strike, don't get me wrong. The coffee shop found this balance by pricing those lattes at $7. People will still want to buy the lattes, and the coffee shop will make money. What value does that $7 latte provide to the customer? Well, number one, it tastes really good. They use fresh beans. They can make the perfect shot of espresso, and they're experts at steaming the milk. Number two, you can't make a latte like this yourself. Chances are you don't have an espresso machine like this at home, and you haven't learned the skills required. Number three, it saves you time. Even if you have these skills, it takes time to master them, and it takes time to do it yourself every single morning. Grabbing a quick latte from a coffee shop saves you time. That's why it costs $7. The coffee shop has created a product that you want to buy based on the value it provides to you. They don't try and justify their price because they took on a lot of expenses. Every business takes on expenses. Your photography business is not unique in this way. You shouldn't try and make clients feel bad for you because you took on those expenses. That is your own fault. Now, how do we use this coffee shop example and apply it to our own creative business and price our work in a way that clients will actually understand? This is a really tough thing to do. It's really hard to convey the value you offer, and people don't like to do things the hard way. They like the easy way out. That's why they use this expensive gear example to justify their cost. But you're different. You're watching this video because you want to get better. You want to improve your creative business. You want to help serve your customers better, and you want to make more money from it. By the way, my weekly creative business newsletter has lessons like this every single week. I share ways to help scale your business to 6 figures. We just crossed 2,000 subscribers on this, and I'm so excited. The link for that is in the description below. So strap in. Let's talk about the value that you offer. Why did you buy that expensive camera in the first place? You probably thought it would help you take better photos. And if it does help you take better photos, then that's great. You're able to charge more because of that. As a business, because that's what you are, you're a business. As a business, you take on expenses in hopes of increasing your value. That coffee shop could have used a cheap $500 espresso machine, but they went with a $10,000 one because they knew the coffee coming out of that one would be better. They'd be able to charge more for it. Your $3,000 camera is a lot better than a cheap $400 entry-level camera. It's got better resolution, more dynamic range, and it can capture more photos a second. And all of this will help you lead to better images for your client. A $2,000 lens is sharper and gives you more bokeh. An expensive flash lets you increase your image quality even further. You bought all these things in hopes of taking better photos and increasing your value. So that's one way to increase your value, providing a better product. So we just learned one way to increase your value. Provide a better product, provide better photos. You've learned to take great photos with the gear you have. Your work has become better because of the gear that you bought. Okay, now taking pretty photos is great, but a lot of people can do that. How else can you provide value? You can save the client time. Depending on the niche of photography you do, this can be a big one. If you're a product photographer, you'll be working with a lot of small direct-to-consumer online brands. These companies are scrappy, and a lot of the time it's the owner taking all the website photos and social media posts. Eventually, they get so busy they want to hire this out. That is where you come in and save them time. Now, the third way you provide value is doing something that they can't do themselves. Photography is hard, and you're a good photographer. Most people aren't. Because you're good, you provide value to the client. You're better than them at photography, so you can charge accordingly. So these are the 3 things we got from that coffee shop example, but there are many more ways that you can charge based on value. Let's dive into those. The value clients derive varies a lot by what niche you're in. The value a product photographer provides will differ from the value that a wedding photographer provides. Let's start with the value of a product photographer. This might be one of the most tangible forms of value. Ask yourself, why does a company want product photos to begin with? Well, they want their products to look great. It's simple. They just want great looking products on their website and their social media. Yes, this is true. But why do they want this? Why does it matter if their photos look good? They want to increase their sales. That's it. At the end of the day, they want good product photography so that they can sell more of their widgets. This is where you come in. You can talk about this in your sales pitch. Depending on the size of the company, you'll be able to provide a different type of value. A small company might pay you $50 a photo, and if they sell a few items, they'll make money from that photo. The $50 was a great deal for them because they still made money with your photography. Now, a huge company will already have a lot of traffic going to their website. Your photo might be the determining factor in a customer buying or not buying. You could charge thousands for this type of photography. And depending on the size of a client, that could still be a great deal for that client. If your photo is the difference between their customers making a purchase or not, then there's a lot of value to your photo. There's no need to justify that you need an expensive camera here. The client knows the value associated with this photograph. Now let's look at the other niche I was talking about. If you're a wedding photographer, value is a little different. There's no one profiting off your photography here. The wedding couple wants memories of their day. They want photos they can share with their family and friends. They want to look back on this day in 30 years and remember it fondly. This is what you need to talk about when you're discussing pricing. The value you provide is their happy memories. This is tougher to do than convincing a company you'll make them money, and quite frankly, it's part of the reason I didn't pursue wedding photography. Now let's talk about headshot photographer. There's actually a lot of value they can provide with these that is more tangible than weddings. First, if you decide to photograph models or actors, your photos can land them gigs. Those gigs pay their bills. Your photos are making them money, just like those companies we were talking about earlier. A great niche these days for headshot photographers is online dating. A lot of people are single and they don't want to be single. If you can fix this pain point in their lives, you can charge a lot of money for it. Great photos for their dating profile can be the difference between them landing a date and not landing a date. You want to lean into this in your marketing. If you can provide value in this way, people will pay you for it. And again, you don't need to justify your price by saying you have expensive gear. There are so many other ways you can offer value too. Let's take 2 photographers. They both take the same exact photos, but photographer A delivers them in 2 days, photographer B delivers them in 2 weeks. Who do you think can charge more for this? Photographer A. A 2-day turnaround time for the same photos is incredible. By decreasing the time it takes to get the final photos, your value goes way up. This is exactly how Netflix beat out Blockbuster. Blockbuster required you to go to the store, pick out a movie, come back home, and watch it. That took an hour. Netflix is at your fingertips. It can take just a minute to pull up a movie and start watching it. But I know sometimes it takes me an hour to pick a movie, but that's a different story. There are hundreds of other tiny ways you can increase your value as well. You can start offering bonuses like a mood board, a prep call, an unlimited commercial license, various different social aspect ratios. The list goes on and on here. And since you've watched this far, I know that you're serious about creative business. I have a free checklist below that teaches you all you need to know to go from struggling freelancer to creative business owner in 30 days. Free download in the description. I know this probably isn't you, but if you're still trying to justify your expenses because you have expensive gear, please stop. This will ruin your business. You're leaning into this entitled mindset. You feel entitled to charge a lot of money because you spent a lot of money on the gear and you feel as people should pay you for it. No one owes you anything. It's up to you to demonstrate your value. And if you decide to keep pricing this way, well, I have bad news for you. All the people watching my videos will learn the correct way to price and they will win. They will understand how to price based on value and they will win in this game. My name is Chris Pieta. There's a video right here that I know you'll love and I will see you in the next one.